Badminton Kid 1. Badminton, running, and table tennis. Chapter 2. Fate. In the grand scheme of our escape plan, I served as the initial rendezvous point, positioned by a dried riverbank that wound past a sprawling cornfield. Although I stood vigilant at the appointed location for 2 days, light failed to materialize as our blueprint outlined, she disclosed, a trace of emotion tinging her voice, her fingers absently circling the rim of her teacup. With a hint of nervousness tinting her tone, perhaps triggered by unsettling memories, Pearl continued, the corn stalks were much taller than him. While they couldn't provide ample shade due to their thin leaves, unlike the canopy of a tree, they did offer an ideal concealment for his escape. He endured several hours to traverse the distance and finally reached the dried riverbank where I was stationed. Upon sighting him, it was evident he suffered from dehydration due to the searing heat. His hands and legs were bleeding. He could barely move and he was giddy with delight. I offered him water and wrapped bandages with medicine on his legs and hands. Subsequently, we embarked on a bus journey to a nearby town. There, 2 other volunteer aides, Brother Wen and Brother Nu, were poised to assist. They shouldered the responsibility of Light's rescue, ferrying him to a distant village where he found refuge in an inconspicuous farmhouse. Upon the police's arrival at the previously hidden location, Light and his companions had vanished into thin air. All that met their eyes was a frail elderly woman, donned in thick spectacles, sitting upon a dimly lit bed. The officers relentlessly questioned her about Light's whereabouts, resorting to intimidation and threats of incarceration if she failed to divulge the truth. Trembling and tearful, the elderly woman was overcome by fear. Initially, she feigned ignorance about the individuals in question, only to incur the wrath of a disgruntled security agent who grew incensed by her falsehoods. Seizing a rough stick from the vicinity, the agent menaced her, threatening violence. The frail woman, now on the verge of collapse, pleaded desperately, her already pale face taking on an even more ashen hue. "Comrade! Officer!" she cried and begged. "Please do not beat me. I am exceedingly old and frail. I am 89, and my son is 64. There is nothing I wouldn't tell the truth." "Nonsense. Should you dare to utter once more that you're 89 and your son is 64, I shall break your legs," the agent's voice roared like an unforgiving tempest, his stick striking the bed with a thud. "No, please, spare me. Comrade! Officer! Forgive me. Sorry. I misspoke. I am not 89. I am 98. My son is 46, not 64, she pleaded, her entire body quivering with fear. Ultimately, she divulged under pressure that her 2 grandsons, Wen and Nu, had escorted Light to her dwelling. However, someone had managed to leak the information. It emerged that Light had departed for the wide state U.S. consulate, recognized as the safest haven available to him. Superficially, the punch appeared uncomplicated, a mere inch of movement leading to an opponent's downfall. However, beneath the surface, the execution of the punch hinged upon intricate synchronization across every facet of his body, from foot to leg, hip to waist, and arm to hand. This orchestrated coordination culminated in an astonishing release of energy coursing through his fist, delivering a forceful impact to his adversary. The blow dealt to the initial attacker reverberated through the air, serving as a potent deterrent for his accomplice. Jolted by a mixture of dread and anger, the second man halted in his tracks before John, his hands suspended mid-air, clutching the rod poised for a strike. His voice resonated with a fusion of wrath and trepidation, as he bellowed, "You dare to assault policemen. This is a grave offense." John's gaze bore into him, his voice erupting in frustration. "Damn it, take a look at what you've caused. I was defending myself. You made no indication of your intentions before attacking. Now, display your ID cards." The man retorted vehemently, a glimmer of embarrassment in his eyes. "We don't carry ID cards. Everyone in this village knows that we are policemen." Shaking his head in disbelief, John responded, "Well, I certainly didn't know. Son of a bitch. This is all your fault." The intruder erupted once more, his agitation palpable. We possess the authority to detain anyone posing a threat to the state. Remember our motto, between arrest and no arrest, never hesitate to arrest. You'll be facing trial for assaulting officers with the intent to harm.